Hey up church family, this is a peculiar announcement because it's an announcement about announcements. I want you to know that all of the church announcements are on upchurch.org. All that you need to do is go to upchurch.org and click on announcements in the navigation menu, and everything that we have going on here, we intend to have in those announcements. So it is your responsibility as a friend, as a member, as someone who is growing spiritually with this community to stay in the know. We may have some call to actions for you there, some places to sign up for things, some things that we need you to do in order to bring forth an amazing experience. And so go to upchurch.org to get everything you need to know, to stand up as a powerful member in this community and stay in the know, be engaged, inspired, and informed so that you can know what's up at Up. Go visit our site today.
Hey, Up Church family. Proverbs 12:25 says that heaviness or anxiety or worry in a person's heart weighs it down, but a good word, makes it glad. And the prayer chaplains have got you covered with a weekly power up. That's right. Every week, starting in the month of July, the prayer chaplains are going to be sharing a prayer or an uplifting message that you can access by calling in or visiting the Up Church Love Facebook page. And every weekly message is going to focus on the spiritual power for that month. And we are calling it the Weekly Power Up with Up. Because you know what? Sometimes we all need a little help to power up the great power that is within us. More information coming soon.
Hey Up Church family, it's Sarah here. I'm giving a quick announcement on our new initiative to collect everyone's trusted contact information. This will help us as a church community provide even better support to our members. A trusted contact is someone you can rely on to act in your best interest. This is someone your Up Church family will contact should a situation concerning your welfare arise or another emergency. All trusted contact information will remain private. You'll find a form to fill in your trusted contact information on the UpChurch announcement page. This form will only take a couple minutes to complete, and the deadline is August 28th, so don't delay. Thank you.
If you continue to think what you've always thought, you'll continue to get what you've always got. If you continue to say what you always said, then the dreams you're dreaming are surely dead. If you continue to walk that same old walk and continue to talk that same old talk, then you won't grow, no, in the ways of the Lord. If you continue to feel like you've always failed, you'll never be able to help yourself. If you keep believing what you always believed, then what you've been getting, you continue to receive. If you continue to think that same old way, your life will be the same every day. And you won't grow, no, in the ways of the Lord. You got to change your point of view. Oh, the things you do, you got to dig way down inside of you and let the light of my God shine through. Step by step, day by day, there'll be no more waiting or hesitating. Change your life today, yeah. Well. Oh, yeah. If you continue to think what you've always thought, then you continue to get what you've always got. If you continue to say what you always said, then the dreams you're dreaming are surely dead. If you continue to walk that same old walk and continue to talk that same old talk, don't you know that you won't go in the ways of the Lord? That you got to change your point of view. All the things you do, you gotta dig way down inside of you and let the light of my God shine through. Oh, in every way, step by step, day by day, there'll be no more waiting or hesitating. Change your life today. You got to change your point of view, yeah. All the things you do, come on and dig way down inside of you and let the light of my God shine through. Oh, in every way, step by step, day by day, there'll be no more waiting or hesitating. Change your life today. Well, there'll be no more waiting or hesitating. Change your life today. No more waiting or hesitating. Change your life today. Yeah, change your life today. All you got to do is change your mind.
Good afternoon, Up Church. Yes, it's time to get started for another celebration of Up Church Founders Month. This is the month that we celebrate the founding of Up Church, and we also celebrate our founding minister's birthday. Reverend Della's birthday was July 6th, and we gathered together virtually. Thank you, Reverend Wally, for organizing a tribute to Reverend Della in this way. What a beautiful experience it was to come together to share the things that she gave us in her lifetime, the things that have stuck with us, lessons that we're still living by. It was a really just remarkable experience and so very, very grateful. We've got some special things for you in today's service to celebrate what would have been Reverend Della's 91st birthday. Can you believe that? She would have been 91 this year. And so, Reverend Della, we wish you happy birthday. We thank you for what you gave this spiritual community, and we are committed to living this vision of loving everybody up to their true potential. That's what you did for us. That's what we are doing for other people. Now, I am so excited for today. It's going to be a remarkable Sunday. I have to do a couple of housekeeping things right now. So first things first, if you are watching on YouTube, would you go ahead and like this video? Make sure you subscribe to our channel, and for sure, leave us a comment. Like, if you don't do anything else, set that YouTube algorithm off with your comments. And shout out to everybody in the live chat. I love being in there with you. Thank you for helping us take this message global. Can you imagine what our world would be like in a global world where people feel included, where they feel like they have space, or there is space for them to be themselves, to live out the highest calling on their lives? That's an awesome opportunity that we have. So hit share, tell somebody. If you're watching this on Facebook, same thing. Go ahead, like our page. Make sure that you set yourself up to get notifications every time we release a new video, and leave a comment. Thank you to the people who have already done that. I have tried to get in there and respond to your comments just to say thank you or answer any questions. Sometimes you have questions that you have placed in the chat, and I want to make sure that I answer those. All right, let's take a moment to open today's service in prayer. Would you pray with me? Father, Mother God, we thank you for an incredible service today. We thank you for our founder. We thank you for the privilege of celebrating her and just acknowledging her birthday. Thank you for how you showed up in her, how you expressed through her, and how it touched and changed our lives. We just give thanks for that. Right now, we recognize you, Spirit, as the one power and the one presence operating in this universe. We center ourselves in the awareness that you are everywhere evenly present, that you operate the same throughout the universe in all realms, that your divine laws guide and direct our experience, that they help us to move through this earth plane. We just recognize you as the only power and the only presence, nothing in opposition to you, God. We recognize that you are absolute good, and we are like that from which we come. And so we recognize our own divine nature. We awaken to our own divinity, and we own that. We don't shrink from that. We put aside the idea of being a worm of the dust. We kick that nonsense back to the nothingness from whence it has come. And we stand firm in the awareness that there is only one power, there is only one presence, and that power and that presence is God. God the good, omnipotent, the everywhere evenly present Spirit of absolute good. And so it is in this awareness that we open today's service, that we usher in this spiritual experience that we're having virtually together with one another. We are declaring that even in this space that we are able to change at depth, that there is an exchange of spirit that does not require being in person, but it simply requires an open heart, and our hearts are open. We are ready to have the life that you intended for us, Spirit. We are ready to experience the good that is rightfully ours. We are ready to transcend. We are ready to have the life that you promised. And so we open our hearts today and we say, change us, God. Change us at depth. Wake us up a little bit more to that divine nature so that we may return to our lives more awake, aware, and alert, and in tune with the Christ presence within us. I take this moment to just bless this service, to serve the people who are here and serve the people who are to come. And I thank you, God. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. I pray this prayer in the name and in the consciousness, in the nature of I am. This prayer is so, and so it is. Happy birthday, Reverend Della! Yes! Thank you so much for the gift of your ministry. Because of you, our lives are better. Because of you, we are serving people, not just in the locale of Los Angeles. You were always worldwide, and now we are stepping into those shoes as we serve worldwide as well. Thank you, Reverend Della, for just everything, and happy birthday. We know that you loved celebrating your birthday, and so it is our joy to celebrate you today. We've got some special tributes that we're going to share with you. And to Reverend Della's family, thank you. You shared with us your mother, your wife, your grandmother. We thank you. And we know that it may not have always been easy, and there may have been times when you wanted her and we needed her. And we thank you for your sacrifice. Thank you so, so very much. All right, this is going to be a great Sunday. I can't wait. Let's go. Okay. Our vision is to love every person up to their true identity and to their highest potential for the greater good of all. We are on a mission to express God's divine love through teaching spiritual principles, worship services, fellowship activities, and community outreach. And our theme this year is reconnect, reset, and reaffirm. And what's happening this summer is that we are hitting the reset button. We have been apart for greater than 2.5 years. We are in the process of coming back together in person. We're meeting in person on the 4th Sundays of the month. Our next in-person service will be Sunday, July 24th. We'll have cake on that day because we'll be closing out, or kind of, we still have one more Sunday, but we're going to work it out. We're closing out Up Church Founders Month. We're going to have birthday cake celebrating Reverend Della's 91st birthday. You want to be there. Don't miss this. 1 p.m., 600 West Queen Street. It's going to be incredible. It's going to be a wonderful, wonderful celebration. My sermon for you today is called Turn the Key, Open the Door. Turn the key, open the door. Just go on in. That's what it is. You're here and the door is out. I'm not going to start preaching the sermon, but turn the key and open the door. I am going to pass the baton to Reverend Sheree, who's got some information for you, is going to welcome you, take you through some other parts of our service, and I'll be back later with the word.
Good afternoon, Up Church. I am Reverend Sheree Thompson, and I am elated to be worshiping with you today. This is going to be a fantastic service. Reverend Sherri has already set the tone for this magnificent experience that you've dialed into. And so I just want to say, welcome to Up Church. Thank you for walking through our virtual doors. We're so grateful to have you here with us, no matter what time you clicked in, no matter from where you clicked in. Just know that you have walked into a place that is designed to help you grow spiritually. We want to invite you, the Up Church family, to invite you to join us. If you hear something today, if you hear something in our music, if you hear something in our prayers, if you hear something that touches you, and you know that feeling when you get touched on the inside, when your soul gets is in a conversation. If you have that experience, I want you to know that that's a clue. That's a clue that this place is for you. And I want to encourage you to take that first step and let us know that you're interested. Let us know that something moved you today and that you'd like to know more about Up Church. Perhaps you'd like to be a member. Just email us at upchurch@upchurch.org and we will give you your next steps. What I know for sure, though, is that there is going to be something that's going to rock your atmosphere, something that's going to help you think and see yourself differently, to know more about who God is and who you are. I guarantee it. And so just open up your mind, open up your heart to be receptive, to understand that we are here to help you grow to your true God potential. I want you to know who you're worshiping with, all of my wonderful Up Church family and friends who come in week out, who are here, who are the core, the rock of this community, those who are visiting with us and getting to know us really well. This is our chance to fellowship with one another together. And the way that we do that, even virtually, is by just acknowledging who we really are. I want you to name yourself according to your spiritual nature. Say your spiritual name. And all that you need to do in order to declare your spiritual name is to put I am next to a quality of God. Now, I'll give you some clues. When we're talking about the qualities of God, we're talking about all that is good in the universe. So we're talking about qualities like love and power, happiness and joy, zeal, enthusiasm, energy, power. Those are the type of words that describe the nature of God. And so I want you to align yourself with the nature of God. Say I am and declare your spiritual name. I want to see it coming up in the chat. I want you to speak it out loud. But if you're chatting along with us, add it to the chat. If you're commenting along with us, add it to the comments. We want you to take the opportunity to tell us who you are so that we can see who you really are. And let me give you a hint about this activity. It is good to describe and to get to know one another by our spiritual names. But let me tell you what else happens. You begin to align yourself with the reality of your being. And so I encourage you to name yourself, name the spiritual quality, name the aspect of God that you want to see more of in your life. So if you're dealing with a financial challenge, maybe your affirmation, your spiritual name is I am prosperity. If you're working with a health condition, perhaps your affirmation, your spiritual name is I am perfect health. I want you to reach and declare, reach sometimes beyond your experience and declare the quality of God that you want to see more of in your life, that you want to see more of expressed around you. You're here to bring it. So go ahead and declare it. I am love. Tell us your spiritual name. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. And if you discovered another one, I want you to go ahead and take another turn at it. You can add another name to the chat. This is a great time for us to do that. And we're in a powerful series for this summer, and it's called the Dream Series. So dream a bigger dream for yourself. And you begin by just identifying first who you really are. So I'm going to turn the service over now because we're getting ready for our daily inspiration. This is a chance for you to get a dose of inspiration from our publication, The Daily Inspiration for Better Living, published by the UFBL. And so we want to encourage you to purchase the Daily Inspiration this month. Go to ufbl.org and you can order it, subscribe, or you can reach out to us and we'll mail you one. They're only $8. And this month, July 2022, Reverend Sherry wrote the publication, so you want to definitely get in on this one. So I'm turning it over now so that we can hear the amazing daily inspiration that comes from our senior minister. See you soon.
Mastering Your Inner Motion, Sunday, July 10th, 2022. Inner motion is the inward movement of the gift of your imagination. While your body may be physically anchored to wherever you are, your mind is free to wander throughout the universe and beyond. And it's this wandering that you must master. Wherever you consistently go in your imagination, your body and experiences will eventually follow. I consciously send my mind to places of peaceful vibration. I practice running best case scenarios in my imagination. I intentionally see myself in idealized settings of opulence and abundance. Like the importunate widow, I am persistent in the effort to change my mind and to master my inner motion. I consistently come back to the judge in my mind with images of my preferred life and lifestyle. I silence all limited thought and allow the doors of my mind to open to the divine inflow of God's ideas and ideals. I make my imagination my companion. Wherever you go in your mind, you can and will eventually go in your body and experiences. So live your desires and they shall come to pass. Though I do not fear God, nor regard man, yet because this widow troubles me, I will avenge her. Luke chapter 18, 4-5.
Thank you, Reverend Sherry, for these powerful daily affirmations. Oh, they're just so good. Thank you for all of the love and energy that you poured into this publication. We're grateful for you. It is time for our affirmation of power. This is where we speak the word of truth for ourselves. We activate the power of our spoken word. And our affirmations of power are coming from our summer text. The Dream Series is built on our text, The Perfect Power Within You by Jack and Cornelia Addington. If you don't have this book, I want you to go ahead and get it. It's available on Amazon. You can go to smile.amazon.com and support UPCHURCH. Or you can purchase it in any bookstore. You can get the Kindle version. It's available. And what happens in this text is that there's an amazing lesson. Reverend Sherry is going to teach a lesson today from the text. But then after the lesson, there are affirmations for each day. And so I'm pulling affirmations out of the upcoming week's affirmations. I couldn't choose, so I picked two. We're going to have our affirmation of power now. And so what I want you to do is get ready for it. Get yourself in position. Maybe you need to stand up and declare this word of truth out loud. Now, this isn't just read it on the screen. I want you to declare it with me. Let's do it together. I am unified with God's love. As I accept the fullness of God's infinite love and become unified with it, there is no room in my consciousness for criticism, judgment, or condemnation of myself or others. I affirm all life. And so it is. That is a powerful affirmation. And I believe that the second one that I'm going to share with you is just as powerful. Let's take the second one together. I express perfect God. I am the perfect expression of a perfect God. As such, I am free with the freedom of God, at peace in the peace of God, fulfilled in the love of God, guided by the wisdom of God. And so it is. These are some powerful words for you to work with. You're going to get these inspirations. You're going to get these affirmations emailed to you every day if you are on our mailing list. So I want to encourage you to go to upchurch.org, click on our announcements, and make sure at the very top you go ahead and subscribe to our mailing list. That is the easiest way to get these affirmations delivered to you. We have a few more weeks to go with this series, and think about getting that powerful affirmation every single day in your inbox. You'll be unstoppable. So I'm going to turn the service over because we are rocking and rolling here today. We have an amazing month. This is our UpChurch Heritage Month, so to speak, right? This is where we celebrate our founder. Reverend just celebrated, her birthday was just celebrated last week. And so we are here to honor her. We're here to honor the roots of UpChurch. And so we're going to have some of that celebration coming up next. I love you. I bless you. And I look forward to being with you time and time again. And I will see you really soon. God bless you.
We have always known that the message is in the music. It's a refrain that we've been saying since forever. And in fact, Reverend wrote a play called The Message is in the Music, which, by the way, we need to mount because it's really phenomenal. And so we've always been blessed to be around such gifted singers and artists. And one of the things that we wanted to do for this 91st birthday tribute is to acknowledge the songs that touched us. Now, there are so many of them. How could we just, narrow it down to one or two? And truly, we cannot. But we ask you to do that. So, whose idea was one song? Because literally every song is amazing. Every song is amazing. All right, that's neither here nor there. So I'll kick this off. I'm going to break the rules and pick two because I had two. Truly, I love all of Reverend songs. Like every last one of them is just something that you can put on while you are cleaning up around the house or going through your day, and it will keep you lifted. But the one that I think I love, I can't even say most, it's just in this season of my life, is I've Made Up My Mind. Those lyrics for me are so powerful. I've made up my mind. I'm going to be a winner. It really speaks to the understanding that it's in my power as to whether or not I'm a winner. It's not up to the world. It's not up to my mom, my dad. It's not up to my family members. It's not up to my coworkers. I made up my mind. And I just love that. Like I made up my mind. I'm going to be a winner. And I just love that. I love every lyric in that song. And then I love Coming Up Through Me to Me. And for whatever reason with that song, I imagine whatever Rendella might have been going through, that maybe she was going through a trying time and feeling like needing to reaffirm for herself that it's not coming from outside. It's coming up through me to me. Every little thing that I need to know, all I have to do is try. And I can fly, I can fly, I can fly. I just love those words. Don't those words just resonate with you? Every little thing that I need to know, it's coming up through me to me. It's not coming from outside. It's not coming from some external source. It's coming up through me to me. All right, let me let you hear what other people love about the message that is in the music of Reverend Della.
Sherry Milligan writes, my favorite song Reverend Della sang was Lord, Let Your Spirit Move in Me. Reverend Della, unapologetically, I will let the Spirit move through me. And this is Sherry Green Milligan. Angela Seymour writes, my favorite song is I've Been Touched by an Angel. During one of our airport talks, she told me about getting the inspiration to write this song. So in her trailer on location, she started to write and it was done in 20 minutes. Then she called TC to add the music. I totally love and do not understand that kind of creativity. When I first heard the song, something just burst open inside of me, and it still does. I love the song, and I love Mama Della.
God said He will give it all to you and me. I can hide as far as I can see. That's it. That's the song for me. Just say that over and over.
Here's one you probably don't remember, but it is a Reverend Della jam. And she sang this one with Bobby. I'm talking about sweet love. That totally complete love. Hey, I feel His love touching me here and touching me there. I feel God's love touching me everywhere. Woo! That song is so hot. We need to bring that one back. That was a hot song. Oh my gosh. The message is always in the music. Oh, God, thank you. Thank you so much, Reverend Della.
John Downey sent this next video that you're going to see, and he writes, this was one of her last, or maybe her last song sermon. Listen to how telling the words are. The message was always with her. He writes, and the future was bright as I follow the light my angel has shown to me.
I want to be what He wants me to be. I want to give the way He wants me. I can't give as much as I want to if He doesn't supply as much as I need to give.
Amen.
You see, so I have to keep this relationship going. I can see clearly now the rain has gone.
I can see all obstacles in my way.
Gone are the dark clouds that had me blind. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. Oh yes, I can make it now. The pain is gone.
And all of the bad feelings have disappeared.
Here is the rainbow I've been praying for.
It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. Coming up through me to me.
Coming up through me to me. Every time I hear it, I'm twisting and dancing, which reminds me of the exuberant energy of Reverend Della. The message, as all of Reverend Della's messages, reminds me that the power of God comes up through me to me. It's never separate, but it's within me, and it is always there for me to access. Yes, God comes up through me to me.
That's the theme song from Touched by an Angel, Walk With You. That's one of my favorite Della Reese songs because Della Reese was more than a pastor to me and my family. She was Grandma Della. And how that came about was when my son was still a little guy, at the end of church, when all the kids came down from Sunday school and we were all hugging one another and saying goodbye to our UPCHURCH family, as we usually do after service, my son came to me and asked, "Do you think Reverend Della will let me call her grandma?" And I said, "I don't know, my love. You'll have to ask her and see what she thinks." And he walked over to her and asked her face to face if he could call her grandma. And she said, "On one condition, if you let me call you my grandson." And from that moment on, that was the start of a long-standing love affair between my son and Grandma Della. And whenever we would enter a room, the only person she ever saw was my son. "There's my baby, there's my grandson." And I couldn't have asked for more of a blessing from her to respond the way she did. And she was everything my son needed in a grandma. And we were all so blessed to be a part of her life and her a part of our lives. And we were truly touched by an angel. People would see Della Reese on television portraying a character named Tess. And when people would ask, "Is she like Tess?" And I say, "No, Tess is nothing like Reverend Della, Grandma Della Reese. She's 10 times greater." She is truly touched by an angel, and we are truly touched by an angel, and we were so blessed to have her in our lives. We thank God for her and the legacy she left on and the spirit she left in my son. We will forever be grateful, and we thank God for Grandma Della and UPCHURCH and all that it's meant to us. I'll walk with you will always remind us of Reverend Grandma Della Reese Lett. Happy birthday, happy heavenly birthday, Grandma Della.
The message is always in the music. Reverend Della made sure of it. Here's my favorite lyric from one of Reverend Della's songs. "Coming up through me to me, every little thing I need to know. Coming up through me to me, everything I need to help me grow. All I have to do is try. I can fly, I can fly, I can fly. Coming up through me to me is my God." You cannot lose with the stuff we use. That song has given me so much energy. It's reminded me of my relationship with God. I'm so grateful for the music ministry here at UPCHURCH. I tell you that it has never failed to inspire. It has never failed to uplift. And Reverend Della's love is infused in it. Let God come up through you to you. Yes.
Coming up through me to me is every little thing I need to know. Coming up through me to me is everything I need to help me grow. All I have to do is try. I can fly, fly, fly. Coming up through me to me is my God. Coming up through me to me, every little thing I need to know. Coming up through me to me, everything I need to help me grow. All I have to do is try. I can fly, I can fly, I can fly. Coming up through me to me is my God.
tell you, I get everything I want. When I did my tribute, I didn't know that the song that had been chosen before the sermon was coming up through me to me. So now you get to see why it's so amazing. I get everything I want. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh. All right, my sermon for you today. We are on lesson 6. Is that where we are? I think I've lost a little bit of track in the book. Lesson 6 is what we are kicking off today. And my sermon title is Turn the Key, Open the Door. It's all within your reach. Turn the key, open the door. It's all within your reach. All right. So I've got 2 scriptures for you this time because I couldn't pick because both of them are perfect and they speak to where I want to go today. The first is from Luke chapter 12, verse 32. Do not be afraid, little flock, for it is your Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. Reverend Della would always say, Jesus speaking, in case you didn't know who said that. Do not be afraid, little flock, for it is your Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. And then the second scripture I have for you is from Matthew chapter 7, 7 through 8. Ask, and it will be given to you. Search, and you will find. Knock, and the door will be opened for you. For everyone who asks, receives. And everyone who searches, finds. And for everyone who knocks, the door will be opened. Jesus speaking. I love that verse so much. And I use the New Revised Standard Version to share with you. But there's another version where it says shall. Ask and it shall be given to you. Seek and you shall find. And one of the things that Reverend Della taught us is that shall is a legal word. Every place in a legal contract where you see the word shall is a thing that must happen. There's no, it is non-negotiable. So if you get a contract and it says you shall, that is what you are obligated to do under penalty of breaking the contract and then suffering the consequences of whatever it is to break the contract. And so what Jesus is communicating in this verse is the contractual relationship that we have with the universe, that we have with God, with our Father, Mother God. Ask and you shall. Seek and you shall. Knock and the door shall. It's non-negotiable. It's a non-negotiable thing. So my sermon thesis for you is that the key that opens the door to being, doing, and having all that you desire is in your hands right now. The key that opens the door to being, doing, and having to everything that you desire is in your hands right now. And so maybe we need to kind of breathe into that awareness, right? Let's just take a moment, take a deep cleansing breath. And just hold to the awareness that it's in me right now. It's with me right now. My future is not ahead of me. My future is here right now. The principle is that the seed contains the fruit. That's the principle. The seed contains the fruit. Genesis, where does this come from, Sherry? Genesis chapter 1, verse 12. The earth brought forth vegetation, plants yielding seed of every kind, and trees of every kind, bearing fruit with the seed in it. And God saw that it was good. In other words, everything is created with the seed of the thing in the thing itself. This is a principle that is faithful everywhere in the universe. If you want an apple, you've got to go to an apple seed. If you want a puppy, you've got to go to a dog with the seed. If you want a kitten, you've got to go to a cat with the seed. And you can't go to just any cat. You got to go to the type of cat that you want to have in your experience. So really breathe that in. It's with me right now, because we tend to think of our future as coming when in actuality it is here right now. And so the seed for me, for the me that I'm going to become, is within me right now. It's not coming, it's here right now. Let's just sit in that. Just rest in that awareness. It's not a future thing. I'm walking with the me that I shall become. Whatever you are becoming, you are already it right now. And all that is happening is that you are going through a process of revelation. You are being revealed to yourself. So let's talk about prayer, because everyone may not have a positive attitude or a positive view of prayer. In many circles, including some spiritual circles, prayer may be viewed as weak or as a last resort. You know, when the bottom falls out, pray. You may have had negative experiences with prayer. I can recall, this is when I was first in ministry. I hadn't been ordained yet. I was moving through seminary, and there was a young girl, I was friends with their family, a young girl who maybe she was 10 at the time, somewhere in there, maybe somewhere between 8 and 10. And her father had passed away, and they were doing a memorial service here in Los Angeles. And I got a chance to just kind of talk to her, and I was just, I don't even remember how the subject came up, because I just was really just kind of checking in with her, like, hey, how you doing? You know, just want you to know I'm thinking about you. And she shared that she prayed really hard for her father and for him to live. And the cancer that he dealt with was a fast moving cancer. And inside of the diagnosis, he was gone inside of 2 months. Like it was very, very fast. And she prayed for her father to live, and her father died. So it's understandable how we might have a negative view, or we may not have the most positive experience with prayer. You know, whenever something tragic happens, people send thoughts and prayers, right? And we deride people who, in the face of great tragedy, send thoughts and prayers. You know, you think about the tragedy in Buffalo, New York, and we sent thoughts and prayers. Or Uvalde, thoughts and prayers. Or San Antonio, we sent thoughts and prayers. Or Highland Park, and we send thoughts and prayers. And I can see how that does feel weak and inadequate. But the reason that it's weak and inadequate, or feels weak and inadequate, prayer is never that, but it feels that way because you're trying to affect change from the wrong end of the equation. The reason that thoughts and prayers coming at the conclusion of an experience feel weak and inadequate is because you're trying to affect change from the wrong end of the equation. Experience is the end result of a thought or prayer. Experience is the end result of a thought or prayer. What you've got to do is get back to the starting line. You're at the finish line hoping for a different outcome, but where it needed to be adjusted is at the starting line, at the thought where it all got started. And so you go to the beginning and you make changes from there. And so I want to introduce you to a new term. Some of you who have been in this teaching for a while have heard of it before, but some of you may not know it. And it is spiritual mind treatment. Spiritual mind treatment. And spiritual mind treatment is scientific prayer. That's all it is. It is scientific prayer. It is prayer that works every time, all the time, the same way, all the time. It is not begging God or telling God. It's not, God, if it be your will. It's not, please God, please God. It's not, God, you know you need to. It's not superstitious. It's not a supernatural act. It need not be done in any certain place or position, such as on your knees or in a church. You don't need any intercessors. You know, I grew up in a tradition where we talked about, I'm going to intercede for you in prayer. You don't need an intercessor with spiritual mind treatment. You don't need a saint. Your prayer doesn't get through better if you live a good life or you live a moral life. Put that in air quotes because morality changes with every generation. You don't need a priest. You don't need a specially qualified individual. You don't need somebody with a credential, with a REV in front of their name or MDiv after their name. You don't need prayer beads. I'm not telling you not to have prayer beads because you might like prayer beads. They might help you, but you don't need a candle either. Whether you light the candle or not. Now the candle may help you emotionally, but whether you light the candle or not. You don't need cloths. You know, one of the reasons that we don't do a lot of symbols in UPCHURCH is because we don't want you to get hooked on the symbol. Because you'll get to thinking that if I don't have the candle, if I don't have my prayer chair or my prayer cloth or some other implement, that I then can't get a connection. And I'm telling you right where you are without changing anything, you can go within, practice spiritual mind treatment and get a result. So I want to keep your mind clear from the belief that you need things. You need some type of physical thing or physical posture or physical positioning in order to access God, and you do not. And so spiritual mind treatment is the key that is in your hand that enables you to unlock the door to any experience that you desire. Spiritual mind treatment is the key. Remember what I said, you have the key in your hand to being, doing, and having whatever you desire. It's in your hands right now. That key is spiritual mind treatment. And so I've got 3 points for you. The first is that we have as direct a contact with God as Jesus did. The second point is that spiritual mind treatment never fails. And the third is that every prayer receives an answer. So let's go into it. Point number 1. We have as direct a contact with God as Jesus did. Hear that. We have as direct a contact with God as Jesus did. We have misunderstood what it means to pray in the name of. We have been taught this powerful prayer technique as if Jesus is doing the work. We'll say, won't he do it? No, not if you don't have a consciousness for it. To do something in the name of is to carry the energy that they imparted. There was a boldness to Jesus. Jesus was radically inclusive. Here he was, this holy man, socializing with what we would consider the untouchables. And every generation has their untouchables. It just changes depending on who you are. Sometimes it's based on a caste system. Sometimes it's based on race. Sometimes it's based on social status. But every generation has their untouchables. And Jesus not only socialized with the highest of the high, but also socialized with, broke bread with. To eat a meal with someone was to essentially co-sign on their lifestyle. He broke bread with the so-called untouchables. He healed on days when you weren't supposed to heal. He was boldly audacious. He dared to identify his divine nature and then point you to yours. Great things have I done, and greater still shall you do. So it is to operate in the consciousness of, to operate in the energy of, you got to have something that's your why for why you do what you do. It is so much easier to lift or to climb a mountain, right? It's so much easier to climb a mountain when you are doing it for someone other than yourself. When you are doing it because I want to give my children a better life, right? And so I'm doing the work that I'm doing in the name of this future that I'm seeing. When teams go out to play, they always have to have a why. They got to have something that's driving them, right? They have to have something that is pushing them. And I wish I could remember the speech. I heard it, but I only remember bits and pieces of it. But it was the New Orleans Saints coming back to play in the Super Bowl after Hurricane Katrina. And you're talking about a city that had just been left in tatters after Hurricane Katrina. And the coach, when he got ready, I'm getting chills just thinking about it. When they got ready to go out to play in the Super Bowl, puts on the screen for them images of the city damaged by Katrina. And so they're living there, so they're aware of the rebuilding efforts and the struggles. And so when they go out on the field, they know why they're doing what they're doing. One of the players said, when I saw those images and I looked across the field at the opposing team, I thought, you don't want no part of this. In other words, I've got an energy powering me so strong because I know that the hopes that my city has on me, that my city needs this win. And so when we say pray in the name of, we're saying come with that same energy. The one who walked on water, the one who raised the dead, the one who demonstrated what it is to be a divine person, the one who defied Caesar. Come on, somebody. Do this in the name of. We fight this battle in the name of. It's why I often pray in the name of I am, because I'm trying to get you out of this victim mindset of someone doing for you what you cannot do for yourself. You have direct access. See, you cannot turn the key if you don't have direct access. This is partially why you don't have the life that you want, because you think the key is in somebody else's hands. Listen, if we're standing together in front of a locked door and I have a key to the door and you don't, you are waiting for me to turn the key for the door to open for us to get in and access what's on the other side of that door. And many of us have built our understanding of God. We've built our concept of God around the belief that we don't have direct access. We live our lives as if something or someone is standing between us and our good. And if you believe that somebody can keep stuff out of your hands, if you believe a government agency can keep stuff out of your hands, if you believe a racial group can keep things out of your hands, if you believe, come on, a gender can keep things away from you, if you believe a Supreme Court, come on somebody, can keep things away from you, then you do not understand that you have direct access. The power of God in you. This sounds like a frail statement, but it's far superior. Like I was trying to find a more descriptive word. The power of God in you is blazingly more superior. You like that one? Blazingly more superior than the powers of the world. There is no power on earth that equals the power of God in you. Jesus said, ask. Ask. He didn't say, ask me. He didn't say, ask me. He said, ask. Ask in my name. In other words, go with the same bold audacity that I went to our Father. He didn't say ask me, but he said ask in my name. In other words, approach God the way I showed you how to approach God. It's not ask if you've been a good little girl or a good little boy. It's not ask if you made all the right choices in life. It's just ask. The law is, the promise is, the principle is ask and you shall receive. It follows then that if you haven't received, then you haven't asked. Perhaps you came to the door of your good, but you didn't turn the key because you didn't realize that you have as direct a contact with God as Jesus. Point number 2, spiritual mind treatment never fails. Spiritual mind treatment never fails. Here's why. God cannot fail. Joshua 21 verse 45, not one of all the good promises that the Lord had made to the house of Israel had failed. All came to pass. God's promises are the good things that you've seen in your imagination. God's promises to you are the good things that you've seen in your imagination. So a body free of any condition, a body free of cancer, a body free of diabetes, a body free of heart issues, a body free of pain. Enough money to do all the things that you want and need to do. That trip around the world. The opportunity to go and visit family when you want to go and visit family. Those are the promises of God. And whatever you have been promised cannot fail to come to you if you turn the key that is within your hands. Whatever you've been promised cannot fail to come to you if you turn the key that is within your hands. God is faithful. God is faithful. A seed sown in good soil never fails to produce the fruit that it contains within it. We're working with a law that operates everywhere the same and in all realms the same way. Stop right there. I don't even have anything else to say about that. This law, if you put the seed in the soil and the soil is good soil and you give it the right conditions, you get whatever fruit is contained in the soil. So if the future you that you shall become, that you desire to become, is not yet manifesting, the question is, what's going on with the soil? Or what's going on with the conditions around the soil? And this is where spiritual mind treatment comes in, because it's the way you work the law when you're dealing with non-physical things, when you're dealing with just an idea, the idea of the future you. See, you know what to do. If I gave you an apple seed, you know what to do with that apple seed. I sent you a mustard seed. If you decided to plant it, you know what to do with that. You know to put it in soil, to get you a good YouTube video to show you what nutrients need to be in the soil and how often you need to water it and does it need to grow in darkness? Does it need to be in great light conditions, right? You know what to do with the physical seed, but what happens when you are dealing with a mental seed? What's the soil when it comes to a mental seed? What are the right conditions when it comes to planting a mental seed? And so this is where spiritual mind treatment comes in. This is how you basically create the soil or condition the soil. You're not creating it. This is how you condition the soil and set the conditions for the fruit to get out of the seed. And I want to take a pause here because I want to be clear that you don't need a physical precedent. Sometimes we believe, sometimes I believe that the good that I desire for my life, that I somehow cannot have it because there's not a physical precedent for it. Let me say this differently. I didn't see this type of person growing up, so I didn't know that this was possible for me. And I want you to get that that's a false construct. They didn't have any lawyers and doctors in my neighborhood, so I didn't believe that I could be a lawyer or a doctor. That's a false construct. Remember, we're tearing down kingdoms in our mind. You're trying to get to the good inside of you, so it does you no good to hold on to a limiting belief. When you're playing in the realm of God, you are playing in the realm where you are bringing forth that which has never been done before. If, as humankind, we were limited to what we had seen in our lifetime for manifestation, we would be in trouble. It would mean that we would never have any new inventions because we would have always needed to have seen it being done in our experience. That's why it's a false construct. So nothing could be further from the truth. When you're playing in the realm of God, you're taking your eyes off of the world. Part of why you can't see what has never been done is that you're seeing too much what has been done. You are so dazzled and as Reverend would say, you're too properly impressed by what's been manifested already. And what you want to do is go into the recesses of your mind and dream up that which has never been done. The belief that I had to have seen it in order to imagine it for myself is simply evidence that you're playing in the realm of the earth and not the realm of heaven. When you play in the realm of heaven, you are dealing with what has never been done before. Whatever you think of him, irrelevant. But Elon Musk, that if you think about the precedent that was before the Tesla debuted, that what we were looking at, if most people were creating it, right, because they're so focused on what the world says is possible, it would just been a bigger, better Toyota Prius, right? Which is not a super fast car. Like, that's not why you get it. In fact, you should not drive it fast, right? Because that's not what it's made for. And he had this idea for a car that was completely electric that would be as fast as any luxury car powered by gas. I'm not dependent on a physical precedent. Spiritual mind treatment will deliver whatever I go into my mind to access. That's why the scripture says, no eye has seen, nor ear heard, nor the human heart conceived what God has prepared for those who love him. So I'm really trying to hit that point on the head, because some of you are in a prison that you can't get out of to create what is yours to do, because you think that, well, I didn't see it done, and that's the reason that I didn't reach for it in my life. And the reason you didn't reach for it in your life is because you were playing in the realm of the earth and you needed to be playing in the realm of heaven. Point number 3, every prayer receives an answer. There are no unanswered prayers. There are no unanswered prayers. If the seed goes in the ground but does not yield fruit, it's not the seed's fault. Something is going on with the conditions around the seed. If the key goes in the door, in the lock, but the door does not open, it's not that keys don't work. It only means that the key that you have right now is not meant to open that door. That means that your good, which is everywhere evenly present, is behind another door, not the one you're standing in front of. Just because the key won't open the door in front of you does not mean that it'll never open a door. When we have what feels like unanswered prayer, something's going on with the conditions around the seed, or something's going on with the door that I'm trying to put my key in. Whatever is behind the door that can't open is not for my highest good. And it doesn't mean no to the prayer, because the answer to every prayer is yes and amen. What it means is that my good is down another pathway. And so you want to become a master manifester. And a master manifester understands that every prayer receives an answer. And I use spiritual mind treatment to make sure that I'm putting the right keys in the right doors. Spiritual mind treatment, it opens you up to a level of living that feels otherworldly, where every day feels like a miracle. Can you imagine waking up and every day you just feel inspired? Every day you just feel like, I can't wait to see what this day has for me. There is a level of living where you feel like it almost feels like you're in a dream, right? And you walk around and you said, can I believe that this is real? Can I believe that this is real? Here's the thing. Inside of you, there is a path. And you have got to keep pushing through the traps of limited thinking, the traps of limited belief, right? You've got to keep tearing them down. It's almost like going through your mind with a sickle and tearing down those limiting beliefs. And if you keep going, you'll be an avalanche. It's like you are gathering steam. And you're going to like how you feel when you make spiritual mind treatment the way that you practice every day. You're going to like how you feel. I'm telling you, you're going to get there in that place in mind and say, can you believe this is real? Can you believe this is real? This is from Joseph Murphy, Pray Your Way Through It. He says, when you realize the truth about God, you will come to the realization that God cannot be sick, God cannot die, be frustrated, suffer, or be sorrowful. You come to the conclusion it is all the illusion of suffering, sorrow, sighing, and pain. How could God suffer? How could God die? How could God learn anything? How could God travel? It's like God is all there is. God is all intelligence. And so you want to begin now to claim that what is true of God is true of you. And God will wipe away all tears from your eyes, and you will experience no more sorrow, pain, sickness, sighing, or tears. You will find yourself God intoxicated and seized with a divine frenzy. You have received the spiritual antidote today that wipes away all tears from your eyes, and there shall be no more crying. he writes, the oak is in the acorn. The apple is in the apple seed. The you that you shall become is it's inside of you. If you dwell on that idea, you just meditate on it and think about it with genuine interest, with feeling, you will find the idea begins to master you and direct your actions according to the nature of the idea. The seed has its own mathematics and mechanics within it. It has its own inherent vitality and process of unfoldment. And so you want to drop the seed, just the idea, into the fertile, receptive, the fertile, this means receptive soil of your mind. And the creative intelligence that is locked in your subconscious mind will do the rest. So let me give you the 5 steps in a spiritual mind treatment, and I'll let you go. The first is recognition of the perfect power. And so we begin the prayer by recognizing the power and the presence is right where you are and everywhere present. And this is important because you may be coming to prayer not necessarily located in your right mind. You might be worried about something that's going on in your world. You might be preoccupied with some things that are happening. And so you want to start the prayer with a recognition that God is everywhere evenly present. And so it's like you're arresting your attention back from a belief in the world and giving it to the awareness that God is everywhere evenly present. And then you want to, this is the second step, use unification with that perfect power. And so you want to align yourself through thought and feeling. Essentially what you're doing is you're getting into that space of all possibility. So let me tell you how you know you've experienced this feeling before. Typically you experience it in kind of concert settings, group settings, right? Or sporting events, right? And your team is all on the line and you're cheering them, and then they get ahead in the points, and it feels like all possibility. Like everything can happen, right? It's that space of all possibility, right? Just the good can happen. And so I want you to know that that's available to you. You don't have to be in that group setting in order to achieve it. And so you start the prayer with, I recognize that there's only one power and one presence operating in this universe. And that power and that presence is God, the good, omnipotent, the everywhere, evenly present spirit of absolute good. And then you move into, I am one with this power. The same energy that hung the moon and the stars operates itself as me right now. God is breathing itself as me. Nothing shall be impossible for me. I can accomplish all things through Christ who strengthens me. Essentially, what you see what I'm doing? I'm moving myself into that space of all possibility, right? I'm using my words to awaken an awareness that God is all there is, and that power and that presence is operating as, in, and through me right now. And then point number 3, then you choose your good. So when you are in that space of all possibility where you believe that nothing can be withheld from you, then you begin to claim it. I call forth all the money that I need. I call forth the health that I need. I call forth the peace that I need. And here's the thing. You want to speak the desire for what, speak the words for what you desire, but I also want you to just reach for the feeling, because divine intelligence, so the thing you want because of the feeling that you believe that it's going to give you. Right? The experience, the end result of experience is a feeling. You want the experience because of a feeling that you believe it's going to give you. So what you can do when you begin to claim your good is to call forth the feelings, right? So what that might look like, and the thing is, when you call forth the feelings, divine intelligence will bring you the highest version of what it is that you're asking for versus the version that you're asking for. Like whatever you're asking for is small compared to what God has for you. So if you go for the feeling, you open yourself up to a bigger blessing. And so again, you recognize that divine power. God is all there is. You align yourself with it. Everything is possible for me. Ain't nothing standing in my way. God now moves things around. This looks like a puzzle to me, but God can see exactly how it all fits together. I claim the peace. I claim waking up every morning feeling inspired. I claim walking through life feeling loved and appreciated. I claim, do you hear what I'm doing? So I haven't named any specific experiences, but divine intelligence now knows how to go and bring me the highest version of it and in the order to bring it to me. And then step 4 is then you got to accept it. This is a big one, right? Because many times the good is there, but we can't accept it. And so you want to just affirm, I am receiving my good right now. I am receiving my good right now. I am in receipt. Now, whatever words you use, you could go with that, or it could be, I accept my good. And then you close it out with thanksgiving. Thank you, God. Thank you for this manifested prayer. Thank you for this amazing demonstration. It is here right now. It's not coming. It's here right now. The seed is in me, and I just put the key in the door, and the door is opening. And this life of inspiration, this life of peace and joy that I am asking for is now being made manifest through me. That's the spiritual mind treatment. There's no begging. There's no telling. There is you just going into the experience and operating and living in the experience. And then you go on about your day and you come back and do it again the next day, preferably at the same time. So let's review. The key that opens the door to being, doing, and having all that you desire is in your hands right now. And that key is spiritual mind treatment. Point number 1, we have as direct a contact with God as Jesus. In other words, nothing and no one is standing in my way. Everything that I desire is right here, right now, available to me, and there is no one in the way of it. Point number 2, spiritual mind treatment never fails. I'm working with a law that cannot fail ever. And point number 3, every prayer receives an answer. The answer is always yes and amen. What appears to be a no is really a not this way. God bless you today.
Prayer will change you. Everything else will rearrange itself. You can change you. You don't have to change anybody else. Prayer is your victory. It doesn't really matter what the battle may be. You need a change in your life today. Go somewhere and pray. Prayer will change you. Everything else will rearrange itself. You can't change you. You don't have to change anybody else. Prayer is your victory. It doesn't really matter what the battle may be. If you need a change in your life today, go somewhere and pray. What you need to do is pray until the peace no longer lets you be. You need to pray until the mountain is no longer steep. You need to pray until all doubt is gone, until you know that you can carry on. If you need a change in your life today, go somewhere and pray. Oh, prayer's your answer. It's the way that you accomplish what you need. You have power. God created
All right, family, it is time to support your spiritual center and help us take this message global. Made it so easy for you to support UpChurch. Contributions to our ministry can be made online. You can text UpChurch to 73256, or you can go to upchurch.org and click on the Give button, or you can make your gift via Cash App. Our Cash App ID is $UpChurchLA. Or you can mail in your gift. And remember, we have a new mailing address, 3108 Glendale Boulevard, number 547, Los Angeles, 90039. Would you read along with me? Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I give in love and I trust God. All right, let's back up that blessing with a declaration. We want to send this seed out with energy, enthusiasm, and expectancy. I am in the flow. I give generously and I receive abundantly. I am a massive giver and a gracious receiver. All right, family, let's have some announcements and then I'll be back to close us out.
Hey, UpChurch family. Proverbs 12:25 says that heaviness or anxiety or worry in a person's heart weighs it down, but a good word, makes it glad. And the prayer chaplains have got you covered with a weekly power up. That's right. Every week, starting in the month of July, the prayer chaplains are going to be sharing a prayer or an uplifting message that you can access by calling in or visiting the UpChurch Love Facebook page. And every weekly message is going to focus on the spiritual power for that month. And we are calling it the Weekly Power Up with Up. Because you know what? Sometimes we all need a little help to power up the great power that is within us. More information coming soon.
Hey UpChurch family, it's Sarah here. I'm giving a quick announcement on our new initiative to collect everyone's trusted contact information. This will help us as a church community provide even better support to our members. A trusted contact is someone you can rely on to act in your best interest. This is someone your UpChurch family will contact should a situation concerning your welfare arise or another emergency. All trusted contact information will remain private. You'll find a form to fill in your trusted contact information on the UpChurch announcement page. This form will only take a couple minutes to complete, and the deadline is August 28th, so don't delay. Thank you.
Hey UpChurch family, this is a peculiar announcement because it's an announcement about announcements. I want you to know that all of the church announcements are on upchurch.org. All that you need to do is go to upchurch.org and click on announcements in the navigation menu, and everything that we have going on here, we intend to have in those announcements. So it is your responsibility as a friend, as a member, as someone who is growing spiritually with this community to stay in the know. We may have some call to actions for you there, some places to sign up for things, some things that we need you to do in order to bring forth an amazing experience. And so go to upchurch.org to get everything you need to know, to stand up as a powerful member in this community and stay in the know, be engaged, inspired, and informed so that you can know what's up at Up. Go visit our site today.
What a great day. Was this not the best? Oh, happy birthday, Reverend Della. Thank you. Thank you again for all that you gave us. All right. I just take this moment right now to bless you, to be God in action, to be who you were created to be, to step more deeply into the awareness of your Christ nature, to know that there is nothing off limits for you, that you have been gifted with everything that you need in order to manifest the life that you desire. And you deserve a good life. You're worthy of a great life. And so I just bless you to go forward now and be God in action. Let's take a moment to recite our prayer for protection, and then I'm going to see you in the after party. Would you read along with me? The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. And the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is. And so it is. All right, family. I'll see you soon.